So if your Google Ads campaigns looks fine, but your conversions feel off, delayed, or just purely unreliable, this video is for you. Most performance issues that I see aren't bidding issues, they're tracking problems. Hi guys, I'm Tim from Launchpresso and I've ordered hundreds of Google Ads accounts. And the number one thing that I see that seriously kills performance in Google Ads accounts is broken tracking. Not bad ads, not bad targeting, tracking. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to exactly get your conversion tracking set up for your Shopify or your e-commerce store. Step by step inside Google Ads, Google Tag Manager and GA4. And I'll show you this one mistake that I see in almost every single account that makes smart bidding fall apart. And stick around for that because it's probably happening to your account as well. Now at a high level, conversion tracking in 2026 is event-based, privacy aware and heavily tied to Google Ads AI bidding. Google Ads isn't counting clicks anymore. It's using signals and conversion data to decide who to show ads to, how much to bid and where to send budget. That means messy tracking doesn't mean reports look ugly. It actively hurts performance and pushes budget in the completely wrong direction. So step one is planning on what actually counts as a conversion. You want at least one conversion per campaign that reflects real business value. For e-commerce, that's almost always purchase with value. For lead gen, it's usually qualified form submit, tracked calls or booked meetings, not page views, not time on site, not every button clicked. Picking the thing that matters most is important because Google's going to optimize around it. Now, just quickly on step two is deciding how you're going to track it. The modern setup almost always includes GA4 and often enhanced conversions. But that doesn't mean GA4 has to be the primary source of your bidding. In fact, most experienced advertisers that I know prefer setting up their primary conversion action directly in Google Ads. That could be either through the Google Tag or Google Tag Manager, and then using GA4 events as secondary conversion for comparison and diagnostics. This matters because GA4 imports are attributing on the GA4 side before sending those conversions through to Google Ads and therefore possibly underreporting, as native Google Ads conversions tend to be more resilient and are tracked every time there's a touch point. But even if your tags are firing perfectly, there is another layer that could be quietly eating into your conversion data. Now, stay with me because this is something that has changed in recent times and it's catching a lot of store owners off guard. If your conversion tracking is set up without server-side tracking, you could be missing out on a significant chunk of your attributed conversions. And this applies even if you're using the Shopify's Google and YouTube app, or you're running everything through Google Tag Manager and browser only. The tracking could be firing, looks like it's working, but the data getting back to Google is incomplete. And because Google Smart Bidding relies on that data to be able to work out where to spend your budget, incomplete data means worse performance. And this is the setup mistake I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Everything can look correct on the surface, tags are firing, conversions are showing up, but if it's all running through the browser, you're leaving data on the table. And Google is making bidding decisions based on that incomplete picture. Now, setting up server-side tracking is one of the more complicated parts of the whole process. So I'm not going to try squeeze a full walkthrough on this video. But if it's something you need help with, that's the kind of thing that we can help with on a free strategy call. Check out the link in the description for more. Now, let's talk about GA4. GA4 is extremely useful. Events like purchase or generate lead can be marked as key events in GA4. And you can import these into Google Ads. Just know there's usually a reporting delay between 12 to 24 hours and the numbers will never match perfectly. And that's normal due to the attribution modeling within GA4 before it hits your Google Ads account, as Google Ads tracking is more directional and considers every touch point along the way. Enhanced conversions is the next layer. These send hashed first-party data like emails or phone calls into Google Ads to help fill attribution gaps when cookies are missing. They only work well when data is clean and consistently passed on from checkouts or forms. So for Shopify stores, conversion tracking is typically handled through the Google Tag Manager or through Shopify's native integration, which is the Google and YouTube app. So let me take you over to my screen. Now, under the current Google Ads UI, everything lives under goals and under conversions in regards to your conversion actions. This is where you create and manage all your conversion actions across your account. So when you scroll down to the right-hand side here under the blue button, create conversion action, Google's going to start walking you through where your conversion action is going to live. So you need to choose a data source to measure, and that could be conversions from your website, which is most of the time. You might be doing conversions from phone calls or offline conversions where you're importing the data in through Zapier or from another source, which I do cover in another video. You can check it out up here. So for Shopify or e-commerce, e-commerce, naturally conversions will come from a website or on your website. Click Save and Continue. Then from here you would define your category. Usually that would be purchase. Then click Create Conversion, and I'll click a website as the data source. Now you can create the conversion in two ways, manually or automatically. Now I do not recommend adding in the conversion action automatically because the tag may not be able to see your purchase values. So for now, let's just select manual with code, just for demonstration purposes. Just drop down the conversion settings. You can give the conversion action a name. And once conversion settings has been expanded, under action optimizations, you select whether you want it to be primary or secondary. Primary will be where it's counted in the conversion goals column in your Google Ads account. Secondary is for observation purposes only. Give it a name, your value. Now, as I mentioned, that would be set up through an event snippet or the Google tag, and you would have to set up your conversion values. But again, event snippet would be best. And for e-commerce, you want to count every conversion because a purchaser may make more than one purchase within your attribution window period. And then you have your click-through conversion window. 90 days is the longest, but you can go as short as 1 week or put a custom event there depending on what your sales cycle looks like. Usually 30 days is the norm, and the shorter the click-through conversion window that you have, once you know the attribution window between click and purchase, you would only make that the maximum amount that you need, because then Google can update the look-back window and help in the smart bidding optimize faster. So for demo purposes, I'll leave it at 30 days. Same with the engaged view conversion window. This tracks video engagement, so if someone views a video but then comes directly to your website and makes a purchase, you can set how many days you would like that to be at. Maximum is 30 days, and then obviously custom amounts there. Usually it's set at 3 days, which is recommended. Then view through window for display ads, you can set that to 1 day up to 30 days. Attribution modeling, which is recommended, is data driven, which is fine. And enhanced e-commerce should be set within your settings depending on API or Google Tag Manager. And then you click done, save and continue. Now once that's created, you're almost done, but the tag hasn't been fully set up yet. It has to be still installed on your website. And that can be either done by adding the Google tag directly to your website, send the instructions to your webmaster, and they can inject the code directly in your Shopify store or e-commerce store, or using the Google Tag Manager, which is the standard implementation we do at my agency. Now, if you're using the Google Tag Manager, the cleanest setup is to set up the tag with the conversion linker, as well as installing the global tag so it's firing on all pages. So you can click Setup in Google Tag Manager. Just make sure you're directed over to your Google Tag Manager account that's associated with the Google Ads account. You can see I've previously installed the conversion linker here, which is firing on all pages. You can select the conversion linker from the menu on the right hand side when you click it, and then under the triggering here, which seems like it's default now within the Google Tag Manager. If not, you just find this triggering in terms of the all page view and select that. And then if you're entering in your purchase conversion snippet here, which is stated here with a conversion label and a conversion ID. So you can set this up in the Google Tag Manager so it fires on purchase or the thank you page. Nothing fancy, simple and predictable. And it would look something like this. So select new tag, purchase, click tag configuration, Google Ads, then select Google Ads conversion tracking. So send an event to the track conversions. Coming back to the account, we want to select the conversion label, copy that, drop it in the conversion label field, as well as the conversion ID, and drop that in like so. And then for the conversion value, transaction ID and currency code, I've just dropped in the parentheses around the dynamic values for these, and they look like so. And then under triggering, you want to have that firing under a purchase conversion. So the best way to do that is to come to the right hand corner and click new trigger, call this purchase, call this a custom event, and the event name is purchase. And the page path, usually being thank you, is for Shopify or most e-com stores. Now there's other robust methods using variables, but I'll show you what that looks like either in this video or another. But for now, we'll stick with this and we'll click save and then save again. Now that we've got the purchase tag in place with the trigger, it's also important to add in those variables of those parentheses that I added in before. So coming to variables, under user defined variables, you click new, and then you would add them in accordingly like so. So you give it a name, select configuration, data layer value, then you type e-commerce.value, and data layer version 2 is fine. and then click save. And you'll be able to see that variable listed here. And just to keep things moving, I've added in the eCommerce ID here as a variable, as well as the eCommerce currency. So quickly taking a look, you can see what it looks like, eCommerce.currency, and then the eCommerce ID as it looks like so. Now, before publishing anything, it's always important to test. So by selecting the preview mode in the top right-hand corner in your Google Tag Manager account, you'll be taken across to connect the tag assistant to your site. So then you would add in your site accordingly, drop in your website URL, and then click connect. From here, walk through a test purchase, make sure that all your tags are firing accordingly here. Back in your Google Tag Manager debugging mode, then just check all your tags are firing accordingly. And then once you're done, don't forget to submit your changes, giving it a version name, purchase, and a description, and click publish. Just check the version changes and the history, and you should be good to go. Now, a really important warning here. Most conversion drops don't happen because Google broke something. They happen after small site changes, and that could be caused from theme updates, cookie banners, speed plugins, script minifications, checkout edits, and all of these can delay or block tags. And when that happens, Google thinks performance has crashed. Smart bidding goes haywire, and all your campaigns lose their learning. And that's why testing before and after making changes is so critical. Now, if you're going to use the Google and YouTube app for your tracking, once you've got it set up, give it a bit of time for it to integrate into your Google Merchant Center, and also get it set up with all the other properties should you wish. It's a great all-in-one place to have almost everything within your Google properties set up. And I have a full walkthrough tutorial on how to set up the Google and YouTube app, including the conversion tracking. You can find that video up here, which I highly recommend for smaller stores. One thing to note is consent mode. Consent mode helps Google model conversions when they don't accept the cookies, but just to let you know that it doesn't fix conversion tracking. Clean and accurate tagging always comes first. Think of consent mode as a supportive layer, not a shortcut. But just always make sure you have it turned on the account. So under your goals, come to settings, come to data terms, and then you'll see the policies and additional terms that are applicable to your products. That could be your enhanced conversions for leads, or your store sales, which you do upload, usually through offline conversion tracking. Now, just make sure that you comply with this. This is very important. And then when you're happy with that, there'll be a checkbox here to accept it, that you've read and understand and accepted these terms. And just while we're touching on enhanced conversions again, do make sure you have that turned on, and then click the drop down Google Ads API, and then save it. It seems like through GTM and the Google and YouTube app, this is the mode through Shopify stores, and it's actually only been updated recently. Another thing too, in GTM, when it comes to consent mode, click admin, and then come to container settings, and you'll see here, enable consent mode overview. This is in beta at the moment, but again, take a look at the terms, what it means for you, and then check that box and save it once you're happy to accept those terms. Now onto my pre-launch checklist. Now, before you go and turning on your smart bidding, either for your Performance Max campaigns, search campaigns, or shopping campaigns, here's what I personally check every time. So coming over to your goals on your left-hand side again, and you come to your goals page. Scroll down, and most importantly, under purchase, click the drop down and ensure the primary conversions. In the case for this client, it is a Profit Metrics Revenue Browser plus Conversion Booster that I'm using for primary conversions for this account. Just on the left-hand side under status, just make sure that it is active and working. Then click View Conversion Details, and we can see it's active with enhanced conversions working. So that's indicated to me that's firing correctly and consistently, and that it's been tested end-to-end from click to checkout in Google Ads. The other thing too, under the Diagnostic tab, we see that Conversion Diagnostics consent mode is active as well. Just under the settings tab real quick, just ensure your click-through conversion window is under the days of attribution that you're wanting to look back from the initial click. Same with the engaged view conversion window and your view through conversion window as well. And that the enhanced conversions are set up accordingly and enabled. And for this setup, it is managed through the API. One quick tip with your conversion tracking when it comes to purchases, coming back to your goals tab and scrolling down to view all conversion actions, select this. Here you got an overview of what's happening with each individual conversion action in the account. So under your primary conversion actions here, come over to the right hand side and check the repeat rate. If you don't have this column set up, go up to the top here under columns and add that to the mix, because here, this repeat rate is very important. A repeat rate of 1.1 is acceptable. That means that a customer could be coming back and buying again. However, if you're seeing numbers of above 1.1, you want to order your conversion tracking. Reason being is that it could be double firing or could be firing more than once in other parts of the checkout, which could be skewing your results. So just make sure you get all that locked in before you let the automation take over. So for e-commerce, this kind of setup feeds directly into value-based bidding like target ROAS. For lead gen, it allows Google to optimize towards high quality leads instead of volume. Advanced setups like offline conversions can add more value, especially if conversions are being counted in your CRM later. But offline conversion tracking should be treated like a full setup, not just a quick add-on. This kind of complexity only helps if your basics are rock solid. And if you want to learn more about offline conversion tracking, check out my video just up here. Now, as you've come to learn in this video, that conversion tracking isn't something to take for granted. You do need to get this set up correctly from the beginning, otherwise it's going to skew your results. And then obviously that's going to flow on to how you optimize the account. Now, if you'd rather not piece all this together yourself, or if you want someone to double check your tracking before you scale, head over to the link in the description below and book a free audit call with me. I'll be more than happy to take a look for you. And if you found this video helpful today, please hit subscribe for more Google Ads and Shopify videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.